Most people will not remember a single thing that you've said. They will remember a name if they've written it down, but they will not remember what you said. They will, however, remember how you made them feel. Every week at BNI, we have something called our weekly presentation. Now, it's called a weekly presentation, not a 60 seconds, as some BNI members call it, because not every chapter in the UK and in the world gives its members 60 seconds. Depending on how many members you have in the chapter, you may have a lot fewer than 60 seconds to deliver what you need to say. Some chapters give you 45 seconds, some give you 30. The biggest chapters in the world, you get 15 seconds to make your impact. 15 seconds. But we are lucky in BNI Chester because we have got 60. However, some of us don't take 60. Some of us take 65 or 70 or 75 seconds. Because when that bell sounds at the end of 60 seconds, and that bell sounds like, thank you, Sharon, that does not mean to tag on a few extra points that you want to make before you sit down. That does not mean to then mention the name of the person you want an introduction to. That means shut up and sit down. It's time for the next person to speak. Now, I'm going to give you a few tips to make sure you do your 60 seconds so they are meaningful and still within 60 seconds. First off, if you have a name that you want an introduction to, and that's the best way to use BNI, if you've got someone specific you would like to be introduced to, like to be referred to, get that name out in the first half of your 60 seconds. Do not do it in the second half, because you're going to be rushing. If you do it at the end, people cannot write that name down when the bell sounds and the next person is stood up talking. Do it in the first half. If it's a name that has multiple spellings, such as Stephen, could be with a V, could be with a PH, spell the name so that we know exactly who you were looking for. We could find them on LinkedIn, see if we're connected to them. Say the name slowly and say it twice, because that is the most important thing you are going to say. Do not try to stack names in your 60 seconds and say, I'm looking for this person or this person or this person, because we are still writing down the first person when you are saying the third person. It is not going to work. Now, BNI has a lot of training on this, on how to deliver a 60 seconds, how to deliver a featured presentation. And for those members that go to these trainings, you will know that it's important that you don't try to cram all of your services into 160 seconds. Do not list all of the products that you have, all of the services that you have, all of the different kinds of industries that you work with, because we're not going to be able to write them down. The human brain doesn't work like that. Focus on one that you want an introduction to. Now, as an important tip from public speaking perspective, and this is going to depress a lot of people, when you are giving a talk, most people will not remember a single thing that you've said. They will remember a name if they've written it down, but they will not remember what you said. They will, however, remember how you made them feel. So in your 60 seconds, it's your purpose, your point, to make other people convinced that you have confidence, that you can do what you do, that if they give you a referral, you're going to follow it up. And there are two ways you can give something impactful in your 60 seconds. And that is at the start, rather than introducing yourself with your name and your company and who you are, because a lot of people do that, is to either say something interesting, statistic, different about your industry that is shocking. Gail does this a lot. Or to ask a question that gets people thinking. Sharon did this last week when he asked, put your hands up if when you start working with a client, you put your prices up straight away, which was also shocking about his industry because broadband providers tend to do that. So right at the beginning is the most important thing of what you say. Right at the end, what you leave them with is important as well. And get that name in early, spell it, say it twice, say it slowly. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to remember what it is. And I look forward to you all trying to cram that into your 60 seconds now. Thank you.